All right, well, welcome back to episode 8 of 4th and 3 Dudes. We just had to get this thing going because who knows where we're going to go from here. But
we're not
off the rails.
We're not done yet.
Man, we ain't got any show notes. So again, this one, if you love how it's been with show notes, this might
Who needs show notes?
Who needs show notes?
It's organic and vegan.
I'm Chris Nema coming to you here from Peachtree Corners, Georgia, and I'll let my co-hosts introduce themselves, whichever one.
I'm Bernie in sunny St. Mary's, Georgia.
I'm Cord, an award-winning podcaster and 3-year letterman.
All right. Well, again, everybody loves that.
The resume gets longer.
All right. Well, all right. Of course, as always, we need to start out too with what you're drinking. I'm going with going back to the Creature Comforts Flash Cat, nice Imperial IPA. Drinking it in my Monday night glass, though. Again, 2 Georgia breweries, but roll on from there.
All right, so I went back to the bucket hat. I think I wore this pre-Clemson. And back to the old makers.
With ginger?
Nope. With ice.
Oh.
Whoa. The baby ice?
Yeah, the ice. Yeah, your ice machine.
Oh, I love that machine.
Every single week.
We know.
It's like a magical jackpot.
All right, so you got another little puffy coat jacket?
Show us your gimlet cord.
No puffy coat jacket. I got a letter from them for cease and desist. Not sure what that means, but this week's sponsor, Circle and Square from Oxford, Mississippi. It's a West Coast IPA, 6.6. And Nama, it tastes like Jim's old school bitter hoppy West Coast IPA. So it's a good one.
Old school, yeah. Actually, that one for that brewery in Santa Fe, the clone recipe. Nice.
Not the hazy, juicy stuff that they don't filter anymore.
Right. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the games from this past weekend. We had Oregon State going up against the team from
you had to lead off with that.
Hey,
that's the lead off.
It's like rip the Band-Aid off, man.
Oh, jeez. I need a tourniquet. Yeah, Beavers lost 37-42. It was a defense and their turnovers. You know what? I lowered my expectations. Now I got to lower them again. But, apparently they have 7.
How low can you go?
7 defensive linemen that are injured. Our tight end was playing both ways. He's playing linebacker to help fill in. Nevada's running back had 4 touchdowns. They had a pick 6 for 57 yards. Their quarterback in the fourth quarter ran a 67-yard run for a touchdown. First downs, Beavers had 35 over 20. Passing, we're at 348 over 69. Penalties, we had 2. They had 6. But turnovers, we had 4 interceptions. So,
Jeez.
Yeah, it was disappointing. The good news is, Baby Brock Bowers, best game ever, 36 yards and 7 catches. And, hey, Beavers are still in first place in the Pac-12. So, back to this show.
Is it still a Pac-11, or what are they now? Do we need to? Is there any Pac-12 update from this week?
Yeah, I haven't heard back from USF, not UCF.
Oh, okay. So South Florida.
There was some confusion last week.
Bulls,
okay, so South Florida.
Yeah.
So it's coast to coast, east to west.
But, we always got the University of Phoenix online and Southern New Hampshire that we're ready to sign. So there's that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, then the other game from the past weekend, Georgia playing against Mississippi State. The Bulldogs did manage to get the win, 41-31. It was not what a lot of the Bulldog fans were necessarily fully hoping for, expecting. But what are some of your thoughts about that game, B?
Well, I was pleased with the offense. We didn't have the slow start. We didn't have a fast start, but it was nice to see Carson looking downfield. He had a great pocket the whole game, basically. I can't remember a time where he really was pressured. But defensively, every time that every time we blitzed, we couldn't get a pass rush on the guy, and every time we blitzed, we got burned. It was a long pass, it was a screen pass over our heads, or it was a long touchdown. So I'm not sure how much of that was by design, just to kind of get some experience back there man to man, because after the game, I saw a lot of questions on Twitter about Muschamp's not there. Is that the problem? But the guy I follow, Brooks Austin, he knows a lot about football. He's very knowledgeable, and he made the point that Tyke Smith on Sunday for the Buccaneers had a forced fumble and interception. You got Javon Bullard and you got Kamari Lassiter. We're missing those guys. I mean, they're starting in the NFL right now, and you just can't replace that. I think we have the talent in the backfield, but we need to generate a pass rush while still being able to play some zone, some mixed coverages. And I think that's where we got a little bit disappointed Saturday and gave up some points. But so it was a win, and we'll take it from there. We're going to Austin.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, again, it was the biggest thing was the defensive backfield. But I mean, I think we were. I mean, again, how many games was this for? Was it Van Buren? I mean, it's only like his third game, really.
He looked good.
I mean, he looked really good, but I mean, a lot of it also started. I mean, he didn't look that good in the beginning of the game. He started getting some confidence on that. It was that drive, I think, where we had 2 defensive penalties on third downs that extended that drive for them. And when they punched it in the end zone, it's like it gave him a shot of confidence that he didn't necessarily have before, and started throwing the ball all over the place. But I mean, I think we were more thinking he was going to be more of a run threat than a passing threat. So, I mean, again, I think some of those defensive backs were counting on that from a couple of his earlier games. I don't know. I mean, that's just one thought possibly. But
he had 300 yards.
Yeah.
Well, they clearly came out trying to run the ball, and I think you kind of see the shift and the confidence, like you said, Nama, when they decide, we're going to open you up, we're going to give you some throws, you kind of make them, and he was ready.
Yeah. But I agree, too, the offense, I mean, I think they look good. I mean, for everything people talk about Bobo and everything else and Beck, I mean, again, I still think he's a little quick to check things down, but I mean, at least this time he was taking more of the shots. I mean, Arian Smith he had a great game, but he had another one of the balls that I think Carson put in a place where only Arian could catch it. He got both hands on it, and it would have been a tough catch. But I mean, you want your guys to be able to make those catches all the time. But yeah, I mean, I think the offense played better. I mean, that's still the running game is still a little bit of a mystery. We get some good runs every now and then, but I guess it's one of those we've been so blessed with the running backs that have been gashing more, I think, in the past that you could go with. But I mean, again, Etienne's been doing well. Frazier had a couple of good boosts for us, but I mean, Robinson's out for the foreseeable future. I think NCL strain, something.
Yeah, sprain.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think that's one of those things we're going to really have to be able to do. If we are one-dimensional and can't run the ball in this game coming up in Austin, I mean, I think they're going to pin their ears back and come. But anyway, I mean, I agree. I think it was a good effort overall, especially by the offensive side. But I mean, again, I liked it better when we weren't giving up as many points and winning the games that way. But
31 points.
Gave them all up this weekend. But that rollout for Beck where he just threw it in the end zone and trusted Dylan Bell to make the play, that's what we've been waiting on this season. He was doing that last season, especially towards the end of the season. So I think we're in a good place offensively, and not to look forward too far. We'll get to Texas in a minute, but that's what we need to do because they haven't seen a passing attack like we can bring, and having Beck show the confidence that we saw on Saturday was good.
Yeah.
Still, I think Georgia's starting slow in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. They didn't get a touchdown until like 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and then if you look at it, I know we had a pick the first series that was deflected off a lineman. But then the next two series, the ball got punched out by a receiver and went out of bounds. And then third series, Beck almost threw it right to the receiver on a deep ball on the right-hand side. So hopefully they don't do that against Texas.
Yeah. Nope. I mean, agreed. But I think another person who was starting to step up more is Lawson Lucky. liking the way he's playing. It seems like he's getting a little more, or some more of the looks. But what's the other, the Stanford transfer?
Yurasek.
I mean, he was on the field a lot more this time than he has been.
Yeah, he looked better Saturday. I thought Delp, to be honest, looked better. All season, I've been questioning whether Delp's been 100%. I just don't see him blocking the way he was last year. He wasn't going to step up and Brock Bowers, but we really felt at the end of last year when Brock left that he was going to be able to do it, and he's a good blocker. He hadn't shown that, but I thought he had a better game Saturday night too. Yeah. So I think with Lucky, Yurasek's not used to blocking.
Right.
He's whiffed a lot this season, but if they can kind of iron that out, and those three guys I think can carry the load, and hopefully be weapons downfield, towards the back half of the season.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, especially hell, I don't care if we call him a tight end, whatever you want to call him. I mean, you put him out wide and he can catch, just make him a third wide receiver or something. But I mean, he's got good hands too. But yeah, I mean, again, just a little bit more of the consistency. I mean, like you said, the pocket was one of the great things. I mean, Beck, we didn't get sacked at all this week, did we?
I didn't think so. I heard someone say they had one sack. I can't remember it offhand, but It just seemed like he had so much time to pat the ball and just stand there and wait for the receivers to release. So That was good to see. Yeah.
No, I mean, again, that's good. We're definitely going to need that against Texas this weekend for sure. So, but anyway, what do you want to go into is there anything else you want to talk about Mississippi State, or do we need to go ahead and start moving on the games this week, or?
Yeah, let's move on. That's enough of that.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to go ahead with the Beavers first?
You guys don't want to do any top 5 teams?
No, it's homecoming week.
How about Oregon cheating? Oregon cheating against Ohio State.
They did not cheat. That was within the rules.
Yeah. Well,
next season it might be cheating, but they won.
How about it only took 4 days for the NCAA to close that loophole? Well, why'd they do that? Because it was fair. Yeah.
Well, let's backtrack for the listeners that did not watch the game. And that really is the best game of the season so far. Mm-hmm. But towards the end of the game,
I don't think so. I think it sucked.
Time running out. Dane Lanning sent 12 men on the field intentionally to get the penalty, and then do the runoff, and then Ohio State lost the game. So, as a noted Buckeye disliker, I thought it was brilliant.
I just can't believe he told people that he did it on purpose. I mean, why would you not keep that in your back pocket? I mean, I know you want to be the smartest kid in the room, I guess. But
I think because it's obvious. It's obvious. I mean, and we're going to see some people copy that later this season. But as Cord alluded to, it's not going to be allowed. There's not going to be a 10-second runoff after that next season. They're going to close that loop, as Cord said.
Yeah, so Ohio State really hasn't played anyone with an offense this year. They've been running up the scores. And as far as the stats, Ohio State had 22 first downs to 18. They had 467 yards to 496. Completions were 28 of 35 versus 23 of 34 for Oregon. Rushing was within 5 yards of each other. Time of possession, Ohio State had 6 minutes more. But what killed them, they had 8 penalties to 3. And they had the turnover on the onside kick. And, again, Oregon cheated at the end. So, if they want to win that way, I understand.
Fighting Dan Lannon's.
Yeah, they all smell like bong water and patchouli oil and have degrees in basket weaving. So if you want to send your kid there, you go right ahead.
Especially if they're athletic.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great game. I thought it was just a great game.
That's right. I guess, talking about other good games. I mean, that Alabama-South Carolina game, holy smokes.
See, and that's what I thought was going to happen against Vanderbilt. They get lucky at the end. And Alabama's defense just kind of seems to fall apart in the second half. Kind of like what they did to Georgia.
Well, I mean, again, they were kind of struggling the whole time. I mean, really, since after that first half with Georgia, since then, their defense has been struggling. I mean, again, they lost to Vanderbilt. I mean, Vanderbilt ran all over them, out physicaled them and everything last week. And then this week, South Carolina gave them everything they had through that touchdown at the end, which I cannot believe that catch they got made on that ball. But but then that onside kick, I've never seen an onside
brilliant.
kick like that. I mean, it was like a drop kick sideways.
Have we ever seen an onside kick that was punted? It was punted into the ground.
Yeah.
And every other onside kick I've seen is from a tee. I didn't know you could do that.
You know what?
But it totally did. It did a 9-degree hook and bounced off the play. It's like a pinball.
Bend it like Beckham. But if you think about kickers during practice, 3 hours a day, what do?
They're just looking for stuff.
All they do is kick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not doing.
When I saw the replay of that, that's exactly what I thought. This is something this kid invented and said, "Hey, coach, watch this."
Hey,
it worked.
Hold my beer.
And you know what? It only has to work once.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, again, because it bounced off two different Alabama players trying to get a hold of that thing. But it was going like a frisbee or twirling like a spinning like a top. I mean, they just couldn't figure out what to do with it. But
they had that one pass in the end zone that got them there that they said was incomplete, and they reversed it. Then got the onside kick, and then just.
Bama got lucky because, I mean, that guy was wide open for the 2-point conversion, too. Just the South Carolina quarterback got a little too excited and just airmailed that ball. But
Alabama, there you go.
Yeah.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah.
It'd be a good game with the defense all crappy as Oregon State versus Alabama.
Hey, let's do it.
Let's make it happen. Make it happen.
Bernie, make the call.
But
let's let Oregon State host the first round against Alabama. That'd be great.
Yeah, we have the super regionals out there.
And talk about other teams that are kind of falling apart. Tennessee. Goodness gracious.
What the heck?
I cannot believe. I mean, again, I don't root for either one of those teams, but the fact that Florida should have been whipping Tennessee.
If they could score, they could have won.
God, if they could have scored. And I mean, they totally controlled that game, but somehow Tennessee managed to pull it out at the end. I still cannot believe why Napier. I have no idea why Napier didn't go for 2. I mean, he should have gone for 2 to try to get the win. But
I knew Florida was going to lose. When at the end of the first half, the referees had to spend like 5 minutes explaining why there's a 10-second runoff.
Right.
And the half was over to Billy Napier. Right. I was like, dude, you're finished. I hope they keep you on. I hope they sign you for another year. But if you can't understand this, then you should not be on the sideline, and they're going to find a way to beat you.
Yep.
Crazy.
And then LSU finding ways to win again too. So, but say
Jackson Dart got sacked 6 times that game.
Yep. And then go ahead.
Niedermeyer was doing a horrible job all game until the end there. And
Nussmeier?
No, Niedermeyer. And then
Oscar Meyer?
Yeah, which was filmed at the University of Oregon, by the way. Nice. And he threw 2 picks and ended up with 337 yards. And then on the 4th and 6th at the end of the game, Ole Miss is ready to win it in regulation, and made that pass. And the next pass is a touchdown. So, unbelievable. Ole Miss is 6 points away from being undefeated.
I mean, I don't know. I think a whole bunch of teams this year. That's one of the things you're finding every week. Is like, I don't know. I think some of the things I've been hearing too is about the fact that the whole NIL, the transfer portal, and all that stuff. I think it has always been about the rich getting richer, but or most of the narrative. But I think it actually is creating more parity than anybody wanted to believe. I mean, it's one of those where you're losing those people that would be your second string or whatever that give you the depth that you need in a season or whatever, especially with injuries and other things going on, just people getting gassed or whatever. And so you're losing that second string or third string that was going to be rising up to do that. So you're thinner at all these positions. And I think
a $500,000 player can get hurt exactly like a walk-on could.
Yep.
Yeah. So, again, I think that's a big part of, a lot of this, because we've had more injuries on defense. Besides Ratledge and everything on the offensive line and a couple of our running backs, but the defense, the defensive line and linebackers and stuff, that's where, Smiles going to be probably out again too. It is. You've got enough. You got a lot of younger kids in there, but I mean, some of that depth you've had that would have been there, that had more experience in your system, not being there, I think is becoming a little more evident too.
And look at the $20 million that Ohio State spent on their team, only to lose a regular season game.
Yeah.
For the Ducks.
They should have been 15-0. All right, next year it's $30 million.
Yep, keep bumping up. We'll see if Ryan Day's still there, though. But
it's definitely something to watch. I'm pleased that we have someone. I believe I trust Kirby Smart to manage the roster and just let certain kids know they're not going to have playing time and they can move on.
When the other, go ahead.
It's going to be interesting to see, how other teams that don't use the portal, Clemson, they put up that graphic every week of all the ACC teams welcoming players in from the portal, and then there's Dabo on the other side saying no.
Yeah.
And it's just it could circle back, it could recorrect itself, but right now, you're right, Nama, it's creating some parity, and that's what they wanted to see. But I think we're a long way from the end of what the end result's going to be. We'll see.
No, totally. But I mean, again, then the whole thing with Dabo, that I mean, the first week of the season after losing to Georgia or whatever like that, and all the crap he's getting, and now who's on top of the ACC? So I mean, granted, it's a sham conference, but
those early season losses can really help a team.
Yeah.
But as far as Kirby managing rosters, actually, he can manage the Mississippi State roster when their quarterback runs on the sideline.
Hey, let's not talk about that. He was going for Glenn Schumann. He was just
non-issue.
Blind range.
Non-issue.
That was awesome.
Sankey put it best. He should have been penalized. If someone had seen it, it should have been a flag thrown. But he handled it the way he should handle it. He called the kid. He called the coach.
Yeah.
And I thought he was running through a brick wall.
Obviously it wasn't intentional. So anyway.
I didn't see it during the game. Did you guys see it during the game?
Yeah, I did, and I knew exactly what it was. But now we got Cord and adding fuel to the fire for the national media that has no idea.
That's what I do.
I mean, all those people watching our podcast, they're gonna like.
Hey, game day! Your show prep starts now.
I'm sure they're watching.
Oh
I know they are. And you look on X, they're all copying all my stuff.
Then the other game out on the West Coast, Penn State was able to find a way to come back and win against USC. Granted.
Oh, thank goodness.
Not to the level they should have. But anyway.
But, they had to fly 6,000 miles to get there.
Yeah. They did. But they remained undefeated and one of the top teams in the Big 35 or whatever they are now. Anyway, any other big games from the weekend y'all can think about or come to mind?
Hold on, let's
we covered Florida 10. I mean, there's just a lot of great games and just a lot of chaos, which is what I like to see, especially when you got your games out of the way, Georgia finished, and then you got the evening slate, and you just kind of go between games and use the remote control to your best ability and just see all the chaos that ensues.
Oh, yeah, like 7:30. I was trying to watch 5 games at once. I don't know what happened in any of them. It was disgusting.
That's what I mean. You're trying to manage it. You're trying to go back and forth, and then you realize I'm missing everything anyway.
What happened here?
You got to train your brain. You got to
record them all and then watch them at 2 a.m. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, that was one of the good things this weekend because, again, I had the 5 games. I had the 4 on the ESPN app and the 1 on the other TV. And finally got Christine, so she was able to. We were watching it, and something happened on Lucy. She goes, "Fumble over there, interception over there." she's calling it out.
You got a spotter.
I know. I mean, so because I know that it's bothered her in the past, but she was actually getting into it and watching all the games and being able to see everything. So moving between them all. So, but anyway.
Well, here's a fun fact from the Pac-12 for those keeping track: a combined conference record for the 10 traders that left. 13-20. Only 3 of the teams are currently have. 3 of the teams have a winning record. Both Cal, UCLA are winless in conference play, and Stanford and USC only have 1 win. So hope you guys enjoy your half a share.
Enjoy your money grab.
Yeah.
All right. So we go to locks of the week from last week, or we go ahead and start moving on to our games and then do that?
Well, let's recap the locks of the week. So, had a minor controversy, but we'll start with
major.
Nama and I. So, Nama had Penn State. They won, but it did not cover. So, Nama falls to 3 and 4.
I mean,
and
seriously.
then Ole Miss definitely did not cover. Definitely did not win. So, I fall to 3 and 4. So, Cord took Boise State on the road in Honolulu. Not on the road, on the airport tarmac. Anyway, minus 21, and they won 28-7. So he gets a push. So we got Cord 5-1-1, and then Name and I at a lowly 3 and 4. Last weekend was tough.
It
I
was.
took it on the chin.
Potato.
One saving grace was taking Bama and South Carolina with the over, which they just covered at the end. Wasn't this glorious? But then it went downhill from there. So who we got this week?
Go ahead, Cord. You're going to take you 5 minutes to get to your pick. So start.
Nope. I have the lock of the week in my formerly nicotine-stained fingers. Bernie, you watching?
Ready.
This isn't from me. I'm opening it. It's from my mentor.
The Mighty Kreskin.
Hold on. What the hell? Oh, here it is.
This is great for podcast listeners.
Yep.
Oregon minus
He's going to the Ducks.
27.5. The University of Zero.
Minus 27 and a hook. Okay.
Yep.
Who are they playing?
Who cares? Oh, no. Purdue.
Oh.
Purdue, yeah.
Yeah, so if Wisconsin can beat Purdue by 100 and the Beavers can beat Purdue by 17, I would imagine Dan Lanning could probably cheat for at least 35. So there you go.
Ducks.
All right. Didn't Purdue almost shock? Yeah, they did. All right.
Yeah. Oh, they took Illinois down to the wire with a 1-point deal.
In overtime. Illinois had to win in overtime.
Shot their wad.
Whew. All right. Well, I am going to go with an early game on Saturday, and I'm going to go team in the ACC. It will not
sham conference, according to
it
Bernie.
will not be Georgia Tech, but I'm going to go with the University of Miami over Louisville. Give it up 4.5 points. I mean, again, the curse of the Beaver portal. It could get Cam Ward this time, but I mean, again, Louisville's lost a couple of games already, and I don't know. Miami's had the couple of games where they've had to survive by the skin of their teeth. I think they're going to finally flex on Louisville when they go to Kentucky and get this win by at least 4.5 points.
That's a nooner, right? Yeah.
It is.
All right. So you can get that one out of the way.
I know. You start crying early or what?
Yeah, you're going to blow your parlay quick.
Yeah. Like last time.
Get it over with.
Yep.
All right, well,
Hurry
I'm
up,
going to do the
reload.
opposite. I'm going to do the opposite of Nama. I'm going with the late game because I believe in this Georgia football team, and I believe we can go into Austin.
Here we go,
and shock
baby.
them.
Shock the world.
We're getting 3 in a hook.
You know what? As long as you start early, you'll be able to.
Yeah, so getting 3 in a hook, and I think we can show them things on offense.
I got
and
a 4.
I think we can shore up the defense, and I think I would take them on the money line, to be honest. But I'll take the 3 in a hook for the lock of the week. Go Dogs.
It's minus 5 right now on ESPN, buddy.
I got 4.5 on BetUS.
ESPN bet's got 5. You
All
can
right, Bernie. It's up to you. You pick your number.
You get 5 points with ESPN bet right now, brother.
I always go with BetUS because that's what we use. So what is it, Cord? 4.5?
It was 4.5 as of 1 Delta Drift ago.
Okay. So Nama has Miami 4.5, and I have Georgia plus 4.5.
Well, what is Miami game on BetUS if you're there, Ben?
Miami is -5.
Oh, there we go.
Hold on.
I'll take the 4.5.
Hey, that Duke Florida State game might be worth looking at.
I still think the Colorado game
not to watch it.
Yeah, Miami -5 BetUS 30 minutes ago.
All right, and we have it.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the okay. So, I mean, obviously, we know what you think about going down into Texas. I mean, what do you think are some of the biggest keys for the Dogs to come away with this victory?
Well, you always got to protect the ball on the road, and so we have to do that. And it'd be nice to create a pass rush to help our secondary, and with the point spread what it is, I like our special teams, and I think this is a game that's going to come down to some special teams plays. Even if it's just getting a little bit of return to kind of flip the field or get field position, or a field goal late. So yeah, I like our chances.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, I go back and the thing I look at is Texas' schedule. I mean, for the love, they played Michigan, but everybody's seen Michigan is really. I mean, they definitely don't have offense.
One-dimensional. Yeah, one-dimensional.
I mean, the one comp game against, they had Mississippi State, but that was in Van Buren's second game, I believe, starting for them. So they were still trying to get things figured out. I do think Texas has a good good defense, good offense. But, again, they've not really played against anybody who can put up the numbers with them or test their defense the way that I think Georgia can. So,
just like Ohio State.
Yeah. So, again, if we can have that second half like we did against Alabama, or again, the offense play like it did the whole time against Mississippi State, keep that pressure on them to, hopefully then make Texas try to do something stupid and have our defensive backs have their second half against Alabama, where they were, except for that one play at the end of the game, which was still an amazing play by an amazing player. But, I think we really do have a chance. But, we got to generate a pass rush somehow. But I think that's still going to be there.
And that's a good point because Quinn Ewers, he likes to stay in the pocket. He's not looking to run. So if we can create some looks where he has to go to his second or third and gives us some extra time, as opposed to an Arch Manning. So Quinn Ewers, I have all respect for him, but I think that we can create some looks that give them a little bit some confusion in the backfield and some confusion on their coaching staff that they haven't seen all season.
Yeah, and again, going into it, I think our game plan is a lot more about. Defensively is going to be about their passing attack. I know they got some good rushers, but I think passing is where the biggest place they're going to hurt you. I think Isaiah Bond, I think, is questionable. I don't know if he's going to play or if he's already.
I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah,
he looked pretty gimpy. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, some of the weapons that have hurt us in the past with other teams, granted, but they're not going to be there. So
we're not going to talk about that.
I really. Again, it's one of those things that's kind of scary that I think we really do have a good chance. I think this is going to be a game that I think Georgia has a really good chance to make a statement. And again, flip all these naysayers back around thinking that we don't really have as much of a chance as all of us think we do. But it's like the Georgia fans need a push because, I think everybody's feeling a little more negative than they have in the past. But again, we've had some
it's not the team we're used to the last few seasons. It's not the team that knocks somebody down just with a hand. And, we miss some tackles, and it just gets to playing as a fan because you're not used to that. So, I think it could be 50-50. They're a great team, and we may not come up with the game plan, but I think we do our best, and we'll just see how it goes. Go Dogs.
Both show.
All right, you want to hear my analytics now?
Yes, sir.
Go.
Okay. So against Mississippi State, Georgia had 605 yards offense against Mississippi State's 385. Texas had 502 against Mississippi State's 294. That was Manning's first game. Georgia won by 10. Texas won by 22. The Texas defense is ranked number 1 in several categories: scoring defense, total defense, yards per play, yards per attempt, and then stop rate. So I just hope that we come out in the first quarter and make a statement and get them on their heels. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah. All right. Who's Oregon State got this weekend there, buddy?
Homecoming.
Purdue.
Oh, that's right.
UNLV.
All right. So they're going to be able to take care of business?
Sorry. Yeah. UNLV.
No. Probably
No.
not.
No.
Oh, yeah. UNLV's vice favorite at 7. So,
Yeah,
who
they got a
knows?
touchdown.
You know what? I'll watch it. I'll have a hot dog, and it'll be a fun time. But other than that, not betting
A
on
hot dog at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's right.
They on the CW again?
It's a scrappy dog. Yes, it's right after the Gilmore Girls. Aunt B has been watching the Gilmore Girls all week, so I'm getting all the latest.
Nice. Nice. Well,
A twofer.
all right. Well, hopefully they're going to be able to find a way to beat UNLV, but hopefully the Dogs are going to be able to find a way to beat Texas. I'm going to be on the road going to Mizzou this weekend. Going to catch up with Katie there and see if we can
Parents
get
weekend?
It is. No, it's not parents. It's homecoming. So we didn't go for parents
homecoming.
weekend. Katie wanted us to try to come out for homecoming this time. So we're going to get to see the parade, get to see all the stuff on Friday night when we get up there. And the parade's early Saturday morning. It's a 11 a.m. local kickoff for the going up against Auburn there in Mizzou. So we're trying to find tickets. I'm thinking there's going to be something that's going to come up cheap, but right now they're still $100+ for tickets.
Find somebody with a paint can and a straw, and you'll get a ticket.
How many times has Auburn been the homecoming opposition?
And that's going into the season when people didn't necessarily know. But I mean, yeah, they were Georgia's homecoming. Now they're Mizzou's homecoming. I mean, goodness gracious. But so we'll be there for that. Looking forward to that. The weather's supposed to be beautiful, but
Yeah, tell Katie hello.
We'll do. But otherwise, we'll come back and wrap things up next week on Georgia's off week. But it's not an off week for Oregon State, so we can't leave all those Beaver fans hanging. So, but
we got the nerds from Berkeley at Berkeley.
Hey, save that content for next week.
Save it. Yeah. Put in the show notes.
I got a lot more.
I'm sure you do. All right.
We believe that.
Until then, everybody's traveling to Austin. Be safe. Have fun. Watch out for the bats. What in the world is happening?
The Mets.
Bats in Austin.
The bats in Austin.
What are you spinning, Cord?
I know, man. You're making some kind of noise.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought someone was about to crash down. Well, anyway.
Smelling it.
For our podcast listeners, that was his beer glass.
His beer glass again. All right, but thank you for tuning in. Again, let's just hopefully the Dogs and the Beavers can pull it off this week, but go Dogs.
The Dogs.
Yeah, go Ducks. Only for the lock of the week, though.